Welcome to our channel. We are Technic Force and we help grow your business online. Please hit the subscribe button to get more updates. Is Mistral better than GPT-4? Mistral AI just released Mistral Large and we're gonna test it today. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about it and then I'm gonna run it so that you can see does it perform well or not. So this is the blog post. Mistral Large is our flagship model with top tier reasoning capabilities. Now I have a suite of tests that explicitly test reasoning capabilities. So I'm very excited to see how it performs. Now if you're not familiar with Mistral, they're the company behind the Mistral model, which was a small model, then Mistral, which was a mixture of experts model. Both open source and Mistral, mixture of experts, is the best performing open source model. And then they had Mistral Medium, which was available only through the API, kind of a closed source model. And then they released Mistral Next with essentially no promotion whatsoever. And now they have Mistral Large, which is their best model. So Mistral Large can be used for complex multilingual reasoning tasks. So it does have multilingual support, text understanding, transformation, and code generation. It achieves strong results in commonly used benchmarks, making it the world's second-ranked model generally available through an API next to GPT-4. So based on, I think this is an average of the benchmarks. We have an 81.2% score compared to GPT-4. It is 6.4, so still GPT-4 is the best. Then we have Claude 2 right there, Gemini Pro at 71%, GPT 3.5 at 70, and Llama 270B, a fully open source model, the only one on this list at almost 70%. So I'm really excited to see Llama 3 come. Couple other things about it before we get into our tests. It is natively fluent in English, French, Spanish, German, and Italian, and it has nuanced understanding of grammar and cultural context. It has 32K token window, which is not really a lot. GPT-4 has 120,000 tokens, Gemini Pro 1.5 has 1 million tokens. It has precise instruction following, enables developers to design their moderation policies, and it is natively capable of function calling. So this, along with constrained output mode, implemented on lab platform, enables application development and tech stack modernization at scale. The model is available on their own platform, as well as Azure. And interestingly enough, you can actually do self-deployment. Now, I don't think this is an open source model. However, it says our models can be deployed on your environment for the most sensitive use cases with access to our model weights. Read success stories of this kind of deployment, contact our team for further details. So most likely, you're still gonna be buying it. It's not an open source, but you can still do a local on-prem deployment if you request it. So we have different benchmarks here, MMLU, HalSwag, Wino, ARC, look at this, Mistral Large, and here's GPT-4. So GPT-4 is still the best, but Mistral Large, very, very close. And here are the benchmarks for coding. So for human eval, we have 45% for Mistral Large versus 67% for GPT-4. And Gemini Pro, surprisingly, has a 67.7% on human eval. And for math, it actually performs surprisingly well at 91% for GSM 8K, although GPT-4 has not been tested on that. And for GSM 8K 5-shot, we have 81% versus 92% for GPT-4. So interestingly enough, they're actually releasing Mistral Small as well, which outperforms Mistral 8x7B, which is surprising, and has lower latency, which makes it our fine intermediary solution between our OpenWay offering our flagship model. So we have Mistral and Mistral on the low end that are open source, and then we have Mistral Medium and Mistral Large on the higher end, which are closed source and cost money. And it comes with JSON format, so you can force it to output only in JSON, which is really nice. So really good support for function calling in JSON format. And one last thing before we get into it, let's look at the pricing compared between Mistral Large and GPT-4. So let's look at the pricing. We have GPT-4 input at 1,000 tokens. We have about a penny. And for output at another 1,000 tokens, we have 3 pennies. Now for Mistral Large, input for 1,000 tokens is 0.8 of a penny. And for output of 1,000 tokens is 2.4 pennies per 1,000 tokens. So it is 20% cheaper, but if we look at the benchmark scores, it performs about 6% worse if you believe benchmarks. And 20% is a big number. So let's jump into actually using this model. So first off, you have to either make an account or log in with Microsoft or Google credentials to LateChat. I've already logged in into LateChat, so we've selected Large, and another really interesting thing that you can give a lot of insight into why Mistral builds things certain ways is right here. So Large is obviously for top reasoning capabilities. Next is still a prototype model with extra concision, and Small is fast and cost effective. So they've actually bypassed running 8x7B here for the time being. And this is in beta, so a lot of this might change. Let's see what we can do here. Now for the first and easiest coding test. write a Python script to output numbers 1 to 100. So the first thing that I notice, it is not very fast, or I should say feels to be slower than GPT-4 is. Now obviously they're gonna get better with time, but for now it's definitely a little bit slower. But this looks correct. Perfect, that's a pass. Next, I'm just gonna say here, I'm visiting Italy as an English speaker, so we're requesting this in Italian, we're requesting a kind of instructor-like task. So we're saying I need a list, and I need some rough form of instruction of how to do that. Now it obviously got that, let's see if, okay, cool. So this is interesting. So it gave us a list in English because we're an English speaker, and it gave all of the ingredients or all the things in the list actually in Italian. So ideally, we could walk around and find those things. If I'm having trouble finding black pepper, how would I ask someone in the store? And let's see if it understands that I want an Italian phrase, and it got it. There we go. Oh wow, and it actually also gives us the pronunciation. So I guess that's one of the cultural aspects they're talking about, so that's really cool. This is actually far better than GPT-4. When I've asked it for more complex translation tasks or conversationally complex tasks, so interesting, that actually worked really well. Now, something I also like to try here are kind of word problems. So we're going to test out the reasoning abilities here with a word problem about an Italian man selling onions, and it's all in euros. It's all in kilograms, so I think they'll understand what we're doing here. Let's see if it gives us the right answer. So yes, the first time we bought for 200, sold for 300, so that's 100, and then we bought for 400 and bought for 600. So yep, you got it right. That's 300 euros. So clearly the rough or like high-level math ability here is actually not that bad, and it's quite capable. Now, one that's quite hard, that will actually test some of just the visual reasoning for math. For this one, it actually came up with a more clever answer from the last one I used, since now it actually understands what an LRU cache is, which is quite niche and actually hard to do, even if you're implementing as just a human. So wow, that's actually really cool. I'm impressed. So I'm curious what you guys think. Are you going to start using Mistral Large over GPT-4 or some other models? Do you think it's really better than GPT-4? I will actually say that I think this is better than GPT-4 at coding. GPT-4 is great for little quick things, like things that I'd rather not go, say, Stack Overflow to find. But yeah, this is actually really impressive. I think this is more impressive than Gemini 1.5. It is more useful and much more cool to see because when you compare Mistral Large to the size of Google, Mistral Large is still a team of less than 100 people. And to think that they have much less compute and still they've been able to achieve this, it's really impressive. And I hope they keep working to make everything they do much better. Also, it's 20% cheaper than GPT-4, so definitely give it a try. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please check our other videos and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Let me introduce to you AI Collective. Why only ChatGPT? There are a number of AIs out there, and AI Collective is compatible with most of them. And we are adding new ones constantly. Get the best answer from any AI. AI Collective does everything. It creates articles, write emails, write blog posts, write social media content, get answers to any question, get HTML and coding solutions, create logos, memes, social images. AI Collective helps creators get better results for every project. So track AI Collective now. Go to getaicollective.in. I hope you find this video helpful, and thanks for watching.